Looking for the entire county, serving Dillon, Latta, and Lakeview by covering our local news and upcoming events. Please join us now for Chamber Moments.
Hello, welcome to Chamber Moments. I'm Johnny Lors. Today I have as my guest Ernie Barentine, and Ernie is the director of the Free Medical Clinic here in Dillon. Hello, Ernie. How are you today?
Hey, Johnny. Doing good.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Free Medical Clinic because I haven't had you on in a while. I know there's going to be some time changing. Also, this is when it's starting to get a little cooler outside, what we should need to be looking for, and we probably had a little bit of staff changing too. So let's talk a little bit about everything.
All right. Well, first of all, our hours did change. We are closed on Mondays. We're open on Tuesdays from 9 until 8. We're open on Wednesdays from 9 to 5. We're open on Thursdays from 3 until 8. And then we're open on Friday by appointment only from 9 until 12. Our clinics are being held twice a week now. We're on Tuesdays and Thursday nights where you can see a provider.
Explain what the provider is for folks who don't know exactly what that term means.
Okay. A provider is a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant, or a physician that volunteers their time at the clinic to come in and treat patients. Of course, we cater to uninsured patients who are within 200% of the federal poverty level and between the ages of 19 and 64. You have to fill out an application and be approved before you can see a provider. And we take those applications on Tuesday from 9 until 1 and again on Wednesday from 1 until 5. So you have a day where you can apply in the morning or you have a day where you can apply in the afternoon, whichever is easier.
How long of a period of time do you have to wait between making an application and actually being able to see a provider?
Normally when the application is complete, we can get you the same week that you've put in your application.
So that's the reason why you have them on Tuesday and Wednesday then, because we know we have a provider again on Thursday.
That's correct.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the type of weather changes that we have, and it's the flu season. I know in the past you have given flu shots. Is that on the agenda for this year also?
No, we will not be doing the flu shots this year. We're going to partner with the health department to do a flu clinic. That saves us a little bit of a problem when having to control storage of the flu vaccine. So, but it would still be provided to our patients at no charge.
Okay. Now, would they need to make the appointment with you, or would they need to make it with the health department?
They would need to make it with us.
Okay, and then you would go ahead and schedule it with the health department.
That's right.
Okay. All right, let's talk a little bit about what we need to be aware of with the season changing. What kind of illnesses do we have coming in, and what do we need to look out for?
Oh, the infamous cold and flu season. The best guard against the flu is to get the vaccine, to be vaccinated. And you hear people all the time saying, well, last time I got the flu vaccine, I got the flu. The flu vaccine is completely an inactive virus, so you cannot get the flu from the flu vaccine. Although there are several different strains, and most of the time the flu vaccine is made of what is projected to be the most popular strains during the season. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. However, even if the strain that is prevalent during cold and flu season is not in the vaccine, still having the vaccine helps lessen the symptoms. So get the vaccine. Okay.
Let's talk about symptoms of a cold versus a flu versus an allergy. How can I tell what the difference is? And are all of them kind of like caused by a virus or anything? You know, what causes the flu? What causes the cold? With allergies, it can be anything. But
allergies are temporary, are environmental. Those things that are around you. Cold and flu are both viruses. However, the biggest thing that we see in distinguishing between cold and flu at the clinic is flu is a sudden onset. My youngest son recently had the flu, and I mean within a matter of just a few hours he went from perfectly normal to having 3 or 4 or 5 different symptoms. And it was just a sudden onset. Cold is a slower onset. Also with the flu, you get more the body aches. And with both of them, you couldn't have a temperature. So, but the biggest thing is that sudden onset and the achy.
And that's with the flu.
Yeah.
Will you be doing any testing for flu if the client comes into the clinic?
We do have that capability to test for flu.
Okay, so if they come in with the symptoms, you can test. How long does it take for those results to be given back to the client?
About 12 minutes.
Okay, so it's in-house and things like this.
And we do it during triage. So as soon as you tell the nurse in triage what the symptoms are, they'll go ahead and swab.
Okay, all right. Let's talk a little bit about the type of cases that you're dealing with right now. What are you seeing the most of?
Our biggest, at the clinic, the biggest thing that we treat is hypertension, high blood pressure. And one of the things that we see is that people with high blood pressure don't realize that that is hypertension. We do a lot of education when it comes to hypertension because people don't realize that the hypertension and high blood pressure are the same thing. We also see diabetes, and a lot of times our clients refer to it as sugar. And they don't realize that sugar and diabetes are the same thing. The third biggest thing that we see is asthma or COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which covers a whole host of different diseases from asthma to emphysema to chronic bronchitis. This time of year especially, those tend to start acting up with the weather change.
Okay. What do we need to tell our clients and people watching the show? What's one thing they can do to help prevent the cold or help prevent the flu?
Wash your hands is the biggest thing. Do not openly cough or sneeze. Make sure you cover with a Kleenex. But the biggest thing is always wash your hands.
Okay, and that's, people tend to do that just before they eat, but you would suggest that wash it if they go outside touching a door because other people have touched the door, they've touched a book or picked up something. So you would emphasize washing the hands. What else would you emphasize?
Using the Kleenex. If Kleenex isn't available, you can always cough or sneeze into your sleeve.
Is there a way that you do that? I think at one time they gave like instructions where you should cough at. Okay. So that's still the norm for now too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about needs for the clinic.
Our biggest need, we can always use volunteers, and just because you're not medically trained does not mean that you cannot volunteer. We have receptionist and secretary positions that are voluntary, and of course any training that you need, we will train you to do those things. As far as supplies, household supplies are always a big thing, just like anything that you use in your house to clean, or paper towels, anything along those lines, we always use. Trash bags.
Okay, Clorox wipes, or any particular type better that you like more so?
We really like Clorox. Even
straight Clorox?
Just even straight Clorox. We can mix it to what we need it down to, and we can put it in spray bottles and use it that way. Or Clorox wipes. Another big thing this time of year is Lysol. A couple of years ago, we had a problem trying to get Lysol because everybody was out of it.
Right.
But Lysol is always a big thing, especially during cold and flu season.
Okay. Let's give the location and our phone number.
Okay. The clinic is located at 310 East Washington Street. We're just 2 blocks behind McDonald's and right across the street from Dillon First Baptist Church. And our phone number is 843-774-4241.
Okay. And Ernie, if somebody would like to make a donation, a monetary donation to the clinic, how do they go about doing that?
They can bring it by during clinic hours, or they can mail it to our P.O. Box, which is P.O. Box 109 here in Dillon.
And are you a 501c3?
We are a 501c3, which means that we are tax exempt and that all donations are
tax exempt. Okay, great. I also understand that you've got a fundraiser plan for January. Is that correct?
That is correct. There is a steak dinner that's planned. It's being hosted at Union Baptist Church in Temperance Hill, and
We'll have more information
We'll have it,
about that.
yeah.
Definitely. But it's open to the public, and you're looking for sponsorships, I believe.
that is correct. Our sponsorships are $250 for 4 spaces and for 4 chairs, 4 seats, and $500 for 8 seats. And there's a whole list of benefits for each level.
Okay. And then the regular ticket would be what?
$25.
Okay. Thank you, Ernie.
Thank you.
I'm Joni Lewis with Chamber Moments. Hello, welcome to Chamber Moments. I'm Joni Lewis. Today I have as my guest Tabitha James, and Tabitha is here today to talk about some events we have going on in Lakeview. Christmas on the Boulevard. We look
Super
forward to
excited.
it. Yes,
we look
yes.
forward to it every single year.
Well,
I'm super excited.
I am too. Let's talk a little bit about our Christmas on the Boulevard. When is it?
All right, it is the first Saturday in December, and that is every year. And so this year, that is December the 7th.
Okay. What time does it start?
Kicking off around 9 a.m. Our car show begins at 8 a.m. So bright and early, we'll have cars out there ready to roll. And then our vendors and stuff will set up at 9 a.m. We'll be ready to rock. And our parade is at 3.
Okay. Throughout the day, you usually have some type of entertainment. Is that planned for this year also?
It is, and we also have some entertainment spots open. I'll speak to that in a moment, but we have that Hartsville Bubble Guy coming. We have Foundations Karate. We also have the Wilmington Celebration Choir, and as I stated, we have some spots still open, so if you are interested or you know some entertainment that would be fitting for our Christmas on the Boulevard, please visit our Facebook page, Lakeview Town Events and Festivals, or call the town office 759-2861 to get in there. We are still accepting those as well as parade participants.
Okay, let's talk about the vendors. What type of vendors? Because I think it has grown every year.
Every year it has grown. So we are looking for crafters. We are looking for food vendors. We're looking for organizations that may want to just spread information about what they have going on. If you are one of those seasonal crafters and you work a lot during the holiday season, this is a great event for you to come out and participate in, because people are shopping for Christmas. They've already started, if you want to be honest, but when we start thinking about the first weekend in December, that's when people are really starting to say, hey, I got to get Christmas gifts. And so for those planning to attend, come ready to shop. We have people specializing in vinyl. We have different pop-up shops, boutique type things, candles, wreaths and arrangements for those of us who, like me, wait a little while to start decorating and may not have that stuff already secured by the 1st of December.
And you have a lot of specialty, I believe, crafters there. I know you have a lot of people that do some woodwork and absolutely beautiful things.
Yes.
They expected to come back again this year.
Expected to come back again this year. We are expected to, I won't say that we'll have all of the same people, because I don't want to allude to that, but we will have a lot of the same vendors as well as some new ones that have just heard about Christmas on the Boulevard, because as you stated earlier, Johnny, it has grown every single year since it started many moons ago. I remember attending as a child, so it really is a nostalgic feeling to now be helping to coordinate it.
Now, you usually have Santa at some point during the day. Is he scheduled to make an appearance?
Santa is scheduled to make an appearance. He will actually be making appearances throughout the day. So he is going to be there some during the morning as well as during the afternoon, and he will be in the Christmas parade.
Now, if a child wants to give, or an adult wants to give their list to Santa, is he accepting those this year?
He's accepting lists, and he's taking plenty of photos. So dress in your Christmas attire and come take a photo with Santa. If you want to do a selfie with Santa, we know things are getting a little innovative, you can do that also.
And if you do that, like us on Facebook and send it out so people can see it,
yeah,
right?
Like us on Facebook. As I stated earlier, Lakeview Town Events and Festivals. Like us on Facebook, share your photos so that we have permission to share your photos. We love to see photos from past Christmas on the Boulevard events. If you have those, go ahead and start posting them so we can share them on our page and keep that momentum going into the Christmas season.
Now let's talk a little bit about the Christmas parade.
Okay, let's talk
what
about
time does it start
The
this year?
Christmas parade kicks off at 3 p.m. this year, and we are expected to have the Shriners and the bands and the organizations from the school. So we have cheerleaders, different community and philanthropic organizations, churches, you if you would like to be in there. We have some slots open, as I said earlier. So very excited for our Christmas parade. And then it will end with Santa and our mayor.
Okay, and let's get the date and the time once again for the festival, the car show, and then the parade.
Certainly. So December 7th, we'll kick off with the car show at 8 a.m. Vendors will be ready to serve you and spread some Christmas cheer at 9. We'll have entertainment throughout the day, and then the Christmas parade will begin promptly at 3 p.m.
Now, if somebody wants to participate, what they need to do?
If you would like to participate, you can contact us on Facebook. That is Lakeview Town Events and Festivals. You can call the Lakeview Town Hall and ask for more information to have an application emailed to you or faxed to you. And that number is 843-759-2861. You can find any of the event coordinators on Facebook. I'm there. I'm Tabitha D. James on Facebook, and I'll sure send you that PDF in a jiffy if you'd like to participate in any way.
Thank you, Tabitha.
Yeah, my pleasure, Johnny. Thanks for having me.
I'm Johnny Lewis with Chamber Moments. Hello, welcome to Chamber Moments. I'm Johnny Lewis. Today we're going to have a new segment called Chamber Calendar. We're going to give you some updates of what's going on during the month of November and December. Let's start with the City of Dillon Holiday Goodness Bazaar, scheduled for Saturday, November the 16th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This will be at the Wellness Center in the City of Dillon. The Chili Cook-Off, also scheduled for Saturday, November the 16th, 9 to 2 p.m. It will be at the Wellness Center. The City of Dillon Tree Lighting on December the 3rd from 6 to 7 p.m. be at South Plaza in the City of Dillon. And then we have the City of Dillon Christmas Parade, Thursday, December the 5th, 4:30 p.m. The Town of Latta Christmas Parade, December the 6th, 5 p.m., followed by the Communities for Students Barbecue. Then we have Breakfast with Santa, the City of Dillon, December the 7th, 8:30 a.m. The Town of Lakeview Christmas on the Boulevard, which will be December the 7th, with a car show beginning around 8 a.m., vendors at 10, and the parade at 3 p.m. And then we will have the Hometown Christmas at the Dillon County Theater, December the 7th at 7 p.m. I'm Johnny Lewis with Chamber Moments. Hello, welcome to Chamber Moments. I'm Johnny Lewis. Today I have as my guest Don Lewis, and Don is with Hospice Care South Carolina. Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Let's talk a little bit about hospice care. Any changes in anything going on? Because I know it's like ending of the year, so are there any changes with like the government or anything like that?
There's no new guidelines coming out as far as eligibility requirements or anything like that I'm aware of for the upcoming year. We do always monitor that because it does sometimes have changes, but this year, so far, I'm not aware of any major changes coming up that would regard people coming into hospice or what they need to come into hospice. That's pretty much unchanged. What does change occasionally is the hospice-specific guidelines for different diagnoses, different diseases, different ailments, and not so much because the guideline changes, but just because we're trying to educate both the public and the healthcare community on each specific diagnosis. We've been going through and kind of coming out with an educational campaign each month for different diagnoses.
Okay, and for the month of November, December, what diagnosis are you concentrating on?
We're focusing on heart disease this month because heart disease is one of the diseases that's probably underutilized for hospice. We have found that it's, well, nationally, for example, it's one of the leading diseases that people do die from, but only 14% of the people on hospice are on hospice for heart disease. Much more, a much lower percentage than the percentage of people that actually die from heart disease. So the interesting thing those numbers tell you is that there's a lot of people out there with heart disease that are into the final stages of heart disease that could really utilize the help of hospice that aren't accessing it. And that's part of what I do, is educate people that we're available and what we can do to help. So if we are a match for them that they're not aware of, we can step in and offer them and their family, the caregiver especially, the help.
Now, how did they reach you?
The best way to reach me is through my cell phone, which is 843-506-2067, or they can reach out to the Chamber of Commerce, or they can reach out to hospicecare.net. The company I work for is Hospice Care of South Carolina, and our website is hospicecare.net. If they go to that website, they'll also see our toll-free number as well. So there's all kinds of ways to reach us. Our office is actually right on West Harrison Street in the same building that the Dillon Community Pharmacy is in.
Okay, so the emphasis this month is on the heart care, and that they're able to receive diagnoses with heart care that maybe hospice care can help with.
Absolutely, and the folks that do have end-stage heart disease, a lot of times they're having frequent trips back and forth to the hospital, kind of similar to the COPD patient that we were emphasizing last month. A lot of trips back and forth to the hospital that could be, most of them, not needed, because with proper care, those trips can be avoided. Fluid retention is a big one, because a lot of times the heart's not pumping sufficiently and fluid builds up in the body, and that fluid retention eventually leads to an ER trip. With a nurse in there monitoring that, they can do a much better job of maintaining that fluid control and making all those kind of trips unnecessary. And any type of trip to the ER that is beyond the scope of the hospice nurse to bring under control, would still happen. But the high number of trips that could be stopped aren't necessary. So what happens is the patient, instead of going back and forth to the hospital a lot and all the discomfort that provides, is able to have their care better cared at home, their symptoms better controlled, and a much higher percentage of their time are good days rather than bad days.
Okay, thank you, Don.
You're welcome.
I'm Johnny Lewis with Chamber Moments.